I say that I am better now, better now. I only say that 'cause you're not around, not around.
Hey everybody, it's the Tatemeister here with another movie review. Alright. So yeah, I know there's been a lot of movie reviews on the channel. I think it's just mainly because I don't have time to make other videos, and they're easy to make, and I like making them. They're fun. But I promise the next video I'm going to try to make a non-movie review. Can't guarantee that because I'm probably going to go watch Jojo Rabbit. I don't know if I'll watch it tomorrow or... I will watch it though. I will watch Jojo Rabbit. But today we are reviewing The Lighthouse. Oh boy. I'm actually going to bring back the old thumbnail for this because this is a special movie. Now, originally I wasn't going to go see this movie. I was a little worried about it, and also I love Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. I think they're great actors, and they were the best part of this movie. But I'm not a big fan of the director. Now, if you guys don't know the director's name's Greg. Hold on. Robert Eggers. Yes, Robert Eggers directed this movie, and he also did The Witch, which I wasn't particularly fond of. But I can't say this is better, but before I get into the review, the main reason I went to see the movie is because of Chris Stuckman. Now, if you guys know who Chris Stuckman is, he's one of the greatest YouTube reviewers of all time, along with Jeremy Johns. I mean, he's one of the greats. I mean, he has like 1 million subscribers, and he's a very awesome critic, and I love all of his videos. He does a great job reviewing movies, and usually he does give out an A+, but he gave an A+ to this movie, so I'm like, oh my gosh, because the last time he gave an A+ was 2017, so I was like, oh my gosh, he gave an A+ to a movie? This is nuts. I gotta go see it. And, I guess this is Chris's type of movie, because I wasn't a huge fan of Hereditary either. I mean, I didn't finish Hereditary, but I don't know, I didn't like the first part. It was really slow. Lighthouse, oh boy, this is not my cup of tea. Now, if you like The Witch, if you like this director, you're going to love this movie. This movie is really him. And I like some of the stylistic choices Robert Eggers did with this movie. I mean, he made it black and white. He made it a 4:3 ratio movie. It was very different from all the films that have come out this year. It really does feel like you're in the 1900s, and it feels like an old school movie. But unlike Joker, it doesn't really have a real plot to it. Now, I'm going to get into some spoilers here, so if you don't want to get into some spoilers, click off the video, because for me to really go in depth of how I feel about this movie, I think I'm going to have to spoil some stuff. So, yeah. So here's the plot of the movie, Lighthouse. I'm not even going to be real frank with y'all. This is the weirdest movie I think I've ever seen, ever. And I've seen a lot of weird movies. I've seen Stanley Kubrick movies. I've seen Clockwork Orange. I've seen freaking... nuts bunches of nutsy movies, but this might top them all. I mean, this is like completely fucking random on every effing level. It is just what the frick. Like, my brain could not process anything in this movie. It was just like, what the frick. So here's the plot of the movie. So, Robert Pattinson's character, which I kind of forget. I guess it's Tom, and the character's name's Tom and Wentworth. But anyway, so the captain's played by, the guy that runs the lighthouse is played by Willem Dafoe. And the actors, both of them did an amazing job. The acting was stupendous. Definitely would have given this movie a lot lower of a score, but, yeah, so basically the plot of the movie is they go to this lighthouse. They have to take care of the lighthouse for, like, a certain amount of time, like a couple months. And I guess Robert Pattinson starts to go insane because of all the solitude and all the, whatever. It's depicting, insanity, I guess. I don't know. The best way I can describe this movie, it's like a dimmed down version of The Shining. I mean, it's like not even close to what it's trying to. It's just like trying to be like a psychological horror thriller kind of movie, but it's like, I mean, Robert Eggers is just not my type of director, I guess. I didn't like Witch that much either. I thought Witch was like, whatever, and this one's the same way, but it's a little better. It's a little more entertaining and stuff, I guess. And I don't know. It's not these movies aren't my cup of tea, guys. I'm sorry if you're getting triggered for me talking about it. It's just, I don't know how to feel about this movie. It's just like, what the frick. Anyway, I'm going to get into some positives. So, the positives of the movie are obviously Robert are the actors. Mr. Robert Pattinson and Mr. Willem Dafoe give some excellent ass performances. I mean, some of the best. But acting is not everything, and this movie is proof, because, my gosh, but I'm going to give some more positive. Another positive is the stylistic choices. Like I said, he made it black and white, so I love that. That's what I love about Schindler's List. Schindler's List and Psycho were black and white. They didn't have to make them black and white, but they did for the type of movie they were making, and it turned out amazing. Unfortunately, this movie has a lot of other problems, which keeps it from being like those, but I'm getting into that a bit. They made a 4:3 ratio, which is kind of a bad thing. I'm not a big fan of a movie being in 4:3 ratio because I want to immerse myself in the movie, and it's harder to immerse myself in the movie. Like, there's parts of the movie I'm just getting a little sleepy because, like, it's 4:3 ratio, and I can't focus in all the way because if the movie was full screen, I could, immerse myself into the movie. But since it was 4:3 ratio, it was like, what the frick? I don't know. It was just weird, but I guess it was intentional like that. It was a stylistic choice because I think mid-90s was a 4:3 ratio as well, where the two big boxes the big black boxes at the other sides. I guess it was like that too. I didn't see mid-90s, but I think that would be probably a lot better than this though. But anyway, so yeah, the movie was it was something. I'm gonna get into the negatives now because you probably know I'm not a big fan of this. Not my cup of tea. So here are the negatives of the Lighthouse. So, man, basically it's the most confusing ass movie you're ever gonna watch. I mean, if you're a fan of really movies that can mess with your head, I think this is the perfect movie for you because it is. Oh God, I don't know, like. It's basically a movie of random stuff happening and random stuff being said. The dialogue doesn't really have a purpose. The movie itself doesn't have a purpose or a message. It just exists, and you're just watching it and just on interest. Like the movie kept me interested. I can give it that. The movie wasn't like, I actually never went to the bathroom in this movie. I was just that perplexed by this movie. I just wanted to stay to see what happened because it was just that perplexing. I'm like, what the frick is this movie? Like, legit, this movie just makes you like, what the frick is this? Like, why is this a thing? Like, they're just sitting there like, what the frick? What the fuck? Literally, you're just sitting there like, what the frick? But, like for example, there's like these random crazy things that happen. Like this guy starts seeing a siren and like in the water and like a seagull. The seagull was actually my favorite part of the movie. The seagull was like this little chirpy guy and he kept messing with Robert Pattinson. I thought that part was pretty funny. He's like, I was like, leave me alone. It's just funny. The acting was awesome. I mean, acting-wise, it was awesome as frick. Robert Pattinson. If you think Robert Pattinson's a bad actor, watch this movie. You won't be thinking that anymore because he was awesome. So was Willem Dafoe, of course, but that's a given. But anyway, guys, like this movie is like trippy as frick. I mean, they go from one thing to another, and there's no guideline to this movie. It's just random all over the place, and that can be good sometimes. Like Clockwork Orange didn't really have that either, but at least the story made sense. You could follow the characters, you can connect with them. And you can understand what's going on. I think the problem is Robert Eggers is trying to be like Stanley Kubrick, but nobody can be like Stanley Kubrick, okay? I think directors need to learn they cannot be Stanley Kubrick, okay? To be your own thing. Like, stop trying to copy other directors. But, that's why the main thing about this movie is trying too much to be like a Stanley Kubrick movie when clearly you can't be a Stanley Kubrick movie. I mean... It's my main gripe. Like, bro, nobody can replicate what Stanley Kubrick did in his filmmaking, okay? Shining is like a bajillion times better than this movie, okay? Anybody that tells me otherwise is fucking just retarded, okay? I mean, this movie was trying to be like Shining, and it just epically failed. I mean, this is just not like Shining. I mean, Shining had a constructive plot, excellent characters, excellent visuals, excellent everything. And this movie isn't like that. I mean, it has some good stuff about it, but it's not going to be like, oh yeah, I love this movie to death. I just want to watch the movie 10 more times. No, it's not like that. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm probably never going to watch this movie again because it just wigged me out. I left the theater just like, what the frick did I just watch? Literally. And not like Joker where I left the theater like, oh my gosh, what did I just watch? That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. No, it wasn't like that. I mean, it was like... Oh boy, I don't know how I'm going to review this pretty much. I mean, coming home, I didn't know how I was going to review this movie because it was just pretty much the most random thing I ever seen. I'm not even joking. If a movie is more random than some of Stanley Kubrick's or some other movies I've watched, then yeah, I think this is random. But, man, like, I just can't really describe how Lighthouse is. You have to really see to believe it. It's like, it's just one of those mind effing tripping movies. It's just... And there's a lot of movies that came out this year that are better. And I'm not gonna say this movie's bad by any means. It's stylistic and the filmmaking's nice and the acting's amazing. It's just everything else, like the story and the dialogue and the message, and it just threw me off. I'm like, what is this movie trying to convey? I don't understand. What is it trying to convey? Is it just what? I don't know. It doesn't make any flippant sense. Like, what is the point of this? Like, I don't know. But, man. Not by any means a bad movie. Just a very confusing, nonsensical, like, weird-ass movie that is just, I don't know. I really can't review this anymore. You just have to see to understand. So, well, all that being said, if I were to rate this movie, I guess I'm going to give it a 7.7. I mean, it has its good things about it, but frankly, I like Detective Pikachu more than this. I'm not even flipping joking. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but Detective Pikachu is a better movie than The Lighthouse. How the frick? By just a tiny bit, though. It's like 0.1 higher, but like, yeah. I mean, at least Detective Pikachu, I can understand what's going on. I like the visuals. I like the story. Granted, some of the characters and dialogue weren't as good, but at least this Pokemon, I can understand. But Lighthouse is just like, what the flip? I don't understand. Like, bro. If it weren't for the acting, I probably would give this movie like a 6.5 or way lower. But at least the actors saved the movie. If it weren't for them, I think this movie would be lower than I'm giving it right now. But like, the actors are the best part. I would say just recommend to go see it just to see Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe deliver some excellent performances. But other than that, it's just like, gosh. Honestly, some people might get triggered by this movie and they might just leave halfway through because it's just that weird as frick. But you know, maybe you'll like it more than me. I don't know. I mean, Chris Stuckman gave it an A+. So I guess there's going to be people that love the movie. But for me, it's just not my cup of tea. I'm just like, what the frick? I mean, granted, it's better than Gemini Man. It's better than Captive State. It's better than a lot of movies. Some of the movies that come out this year, like Hustle and Hustlers and other stupid crap. But, you know, I just didn't think it was all that amazing like the critics were making it out to be. I mean, the critics were like, you know, Chris Stuckman, the critics were like, oh my gosh, this is the best movie ever. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Joker destroyed? I don't know. If anybody says this movie's better than Joker, I'm going to smack him in the face. I mean, literally. That is no comparison. Joker is way flicking better. But anyway, so thank you all for watching. The Tatumeister is signing out. Bye-bye.